So, how y'all doing? How you doing? Come on. First off, welcome. Thank you so much for being part of the final stretch. Every single conversation that you have with the voters of the 13th district matters so much. There's a few things that they need to know. Number one, I'm a 33-year-old stepmom. Number two, I was born 2 buildings over that way, so I've lived here my whole life. Number three, I was the lead reporter of the Gainesville Times, covering this community for 9 years, 2 months, and 2 weeks. All that means is I know public policy issues because I covered them. I've completely emphasized the issues that unite us instead of the discriminatory social issues that hurt our community. That's the message I want you guys to bring out to the doors today. When we vote, we what? We win. I can't hear you. When we vote, we win. When we vote, we win. And when we vote, we win. Let's go in. Thank you so much.
We're on our way to the headquarters of Danica Roem, a trans woman who's running for a state delegate position. There are monuments to Confederate soldiers kind of everywhere. It must be difficult anywhere, but especially in a small southern town, to be transgender and to open yourself up to the sort of criticism that comes with running for public office. I wouldn't want to run for public office in the town where I grew up. It's really moving to see momentum behind transgender people today, especially in the political world.
Hey, good to see you again.
How are you,
Cheers.
Danica?
Doing well. Very good.
Yeah, how's today going?
We are on pace today to knock over 10,000 doors.
Danica isn't a career politician. She's part of the new wave of first-time candidates running for office all over the country. She's focused her campaign around policy, not gender, and hopes her hometown roots and years of experience reporting on local politics will help her win over voters. But she's up against an established Republican who's been in office over 2 decades. And the race is so close that it could go either way. So with hours until Election Day, her campaign and army of volunteers are out in full force.
You haven't been in the metal car before, have you? I love live music. That's my thing. And I've barely gone to any shows this whole year. Whatever time I'm not spending on the campaign, I try to spend with my family, and that's it. I don't have a social life anymore. I don't have normalcy.
What is a day like?
Make phone calls, knock on doors, stress out. It's good to see you again. How are you?
We never got your sign.
We are in a small neighborhood that I can't remember the name of, but it's in the middle of the woods, and I'm told it's near where Danica lives, so she's come here today so that she can talk with people who she's close to in her community. She might not know them, but she lives in the same neighborhood as them.
Danica is hoping to unseat Bob Marshall, a GOP lawmaker whose 25-year career in politics has largely focused around anti-LGBT policies, like opposing gay marriage and bringing North Carolina's restrictive transgender bathroom bill to Virginia schools. Danica's campaign is focused on highways and teacher pay, but Bob seems to have focused his campaign around her transition. He's misgendered her in interviews, sent mailers alerting voters that she's trans, and refused to debate her on the issues.
Route 28 is like one of the key parts of your campaign.
Try Vicky.
Yeah.
That's what I've been, I may fix Route 28 and innovate my slogan on January 3rd. So we're on Route 28 right now, but this area in particular, if this was 7 o'clock Monday morning right now, this is bumper to bumper.
Okay.
Transportation affects every single person. Every single person. Every person. Even if you are a shut-in and you never drive, if you have goods or anything provided to you, then transportation affects you. This is a defining difference, all right? You can even read it in the paper. I spent that interview talking about Route 28. Delegate Marshall declined to be interviewed for them. I've been talking about this for 10 months. And what's Delegate Marshall hitting me on? My gender.
Does it surprise you the way that he's approaching this campaign?
No. I came to realize a long time ago that when people talk smack about you based on your gender, it's not about you. Now, they might pick apart your looks, They might say that your voice is too deep. They might say that your hands are too large. I've heard every nasty thing under the sun thrown at me. All of it. I've heard it all. And here I am, 2 days away from Election Day, feeling pretty damn good about our chance to win. And it's just like, you know why? All that stuff, it's just smack. Don't tell me why I can't succeed. Tell me what obstacles are in my way that I need to overcome in order to succeed. Hi, my name is Danica Roem. I'm running for the House of Delegates. How are you?
Doing pretty well. How you doing? Whenever you're out in the world, we never know when someone's going to know whether or not, what your gender is, and that they could make an issue of that.
It never comes up.
How do you deal with the uncertainty around it? Or do it not bother you at all?
Look, I wouldn't have done, if I thought that I was going to get myself killed doing this, I wouldn't have done it. But at the same time, I know the risk associated with it. I know I could, but I also know that just by being here, by me running this race, I'm making it more possible for other people like us to run races like this. Growing up in Manassas, my life story is atypical. By the time I was in 5th grade, for sure, I knew I was trans. And by the time I was in 7th grade, there was zero question about it. And I had no one to talk to. I didn't know anyone who was like me. All of the trans people I had ever seen were, caricatures on Jerry Springer and Jenny Jones and Maury or whatever, For me to think back about it, it's like there's a lot of sorrow that goes into it. And at the same time, I can say I can remember a lot of good stuff too. But I kind of mentally blocked out a lot of the 90s, just to be honest with you. You go to bed at night and you wake up the next morning and the last thought of your day and the first thought of your day is still, how come I'm not her yet, And how come I can't live as her? How come I can't be her?
Why stay here into adulthood and through transition?
It's my home.
So I ran for Dolphins, and then he retired. Look at this.
Oh my God!
For a local delegate race, this is amazing. After Trump won, there's been a clear rise in energy in grassroots movements, especially on a local level. And Danica has made the delegate position in the State House of Representatives cool.
I have been involved with Danica's campaign actually since, I believe it was February. She's so funny. She cracks the best jokes. She's just very real and very down to earth. So I've been involved ever since.
Wow, it's packed in here.
It is.
All of these people are giving up their Saturday to go and knock on doors.
Yeah.
And have uncomfortable conversations.
Or comfortable ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get your bandmates to help you out.
Oh, wow. We're recording.
Yeah, do your thing.
I met Danica at a metal show in Fairfax. The one thing that really inspired me about Danica is the confidence in her voice. Just really, it's really hard to explain.
And you think she's going to be a good candidate?
I absolutely do.
Yeah.
She's very smart, knows so much about, policy, and just really good candidate. She's going to do great.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Tim. Jamie, nice to see you, Jamie. Kenzie, thank you guys for being here.
Tim's here, and I'm just anytime that Tim Kaine comes into your office, that's a good day.
You will not stump Danica Roem on anything related to this state, and especially this community. We win some of these races, we win these statewide, you're going to see 25 and 30 and 35-year-old first-time candidates popping up in every legislative race and every congressional race all across this nation. I've seen you do your best work. I know you can do it. You're the battleground of the battleground, so let's go win.
It's really exciting seeing all of these people here. The election is quickly approaching and the momentum is high.
So tonight is our last night together as a team in the privacy of our own little cocoon here before we change the world tomorrow.
I'm really fucking excited.
I'm scared. I've been really, really scared, especially the last few weeks. And I've been scared my whole life. I've been scared to transition. I was scared to get into this race. Y'all know how I talk about little 10-year-old trans girl Clara? Her mom dropped me a line first week of the campaign talking about how this poor little kid, when she finally decided to present as the little girl who she is at school, she got the crap kicked out of her. Imagine how scared that little girl was to go to school after Trump's election last year. And she decided she was going to do it anyway. And now I'm going to try to make it a little bit easier for her, and how amazing it's going to be. After what happened last year, we get to say, you know what? Discrimination is a disqualifier. Inclusion is a victory lap. 10 months we have done this. What's left to do, right?
Do win on 3.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3.
Win!
We're here outside of a school in Manassas where Danica is speaking with voters at the very last minute before they go in to cast their votes. It is frigid out here. There are people with coffees and coats and umbrellas who've come out to vote despite this horrid weather.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Hey, I'm Danica.
Roem.
Yeah, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing well. What's your name?
Lori Van Sickle.
Hey, well, Lori, thanks for coming on out and battling the rain for us.
Sure, both of you.
All right. Hey,
Do
look
good
at
things
that.
for us, okay?
Yeah, you got it. You got my word on that. Go to the left and straight ahead. I'm in this to win. I'm not in this for, a merit badge of courage. Oh, the trans woman ran. What a great job she did. No, I'm in it for 50.01% of the vote. I don't have a plan B. I don't have the ace in my pocket or anything. Like, this is it. I'm all in on this election.
It's almost 8 o'clock here. The polls have been closed for less than an hour, and there's a lot of energy in the room. People are really excited, as you can see. It's not just Danica here, it's the Democratic Party who've come to celebrate and to work and hope that they win tonight's election.
So VPAP is our nonprofit voter reporting app here
amazing.
In Virginia. Significantly more came in just in the last couple minutes.
That's crazy.
And she's now up to 17 out of 20 precincts, and she's at 53.4%.
So we've just heard that 90% of the local precincts have reported, and she's leading with 55%.
Danica Roem, next delegate from House 13.
Members of the NVTA, Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, and of course the General Assembly, we will fix Route 28. To every person who's ever been singled out, who's ever been the misfit, who's ever been the kid in the corner, who's ever needed someone to stand up for them when they didn't have a voice of their own, this one's for you. This election has to prove nationwide that discrimination is a disqualifier. I want to make a point here that no matter what you look like, where you come from, how you worship, who you love, how you identify, and yeah, how you rock. You're well qualified for office. Bring those ideas to the table because this is your America too. This is our Commonwealth of Virginia too. This is our Prince William County. And we are stronger together.
One of the people who came to watch Danica's victory speech tonight was Clara, the 10-year-old transgender girl who Danica talked about the night before the election.
She was being bullied pretty badly with kids making fun of her, and they kept going after her. And like a lot of kids that go through this kind of bullying, she decided that it wasn't worth it, and she tried to jump out of a second-floor window. And she kept telling me that there was nobody like her, and she was too different. Nobody would ever understand her. And there was this article about Danica. I remember thinking, there's hope in this, and she had to see it.
Yeah.
And I showed her the article, and she read it probably 3 times. And her jaw just kept dropping. And she looked up at me when she was finally done with this smile on her face that I had not seen in months. And she said, she's just like me. I said, she's just like you. She said, how does she do it? How did she put herself out there in front of everybody and do that? And I said, because she knows who she is. And she said, if Danica can do that, I can do that. And so now that's her motto. That's her catchphrase. It's, if Danica can do that, I can do that. And from that point on, she's been dreaming of being the next Danica. She gave us so much hope.
I mean, it sounds like she really changed your life.
She gave me my daughter back.
Has it changed the way that you see your future? Do you feel like you have a future now?
And that I can become president one day.
That is so cool.
Or do the same thing Danica did.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations, Clara. High five. You did it, girl. One of the things that you mentioned this weekend was about how many people have come out to support you, particularly this one young trans girl named Clara. I was fortunate enough to meet her tonight, and she shared a bit of her story with me. And it really hit home for how meaningful just being visible is.
The best contrast I had with Delegate Marshall on social issues in particular, on gender identity, on everything else, was just my presence. My mere presence was the contrast. It's just, yep, I'm here, and I am unapologetically here.
Yeah.
So now what? But kids like that, I mean, I'll speak up for her rights any day of the week. We have to take into account people who have been historically disadvantaged and making sure that they have a fair shot, that their quality of life, that they can succeed in their quality of life just like anyone else, that they can enjoy the same quality of life as anyone else. I want them to understand that they can succeed because of who they are, not for what discriminatory politicians tell them they're supposed to be.
Seeing Danica win tonight made me feel like it's possible that things can change in the United States, that politics on a small scale can have national impact. You know, for any transgender person, whether you're a journalist or a politician, you're always concerned about whether someone's going to be able to see beyond your gender. And tonight, Danica and her success in this race proved that, yeah, it's possible.